Hi everyone, welcome to the Vision Train. Yay, we are here live streaming from the Vision Train today on the 28th of October. We are gathered here for the Vision Train in Focus. It's a spotlight for the Vision Train crew. It's a moment where we gather to listen to the story and the artistic path of the members of the Vision Train. I'm Marina's I Am Rebels. I am the host for today. I'm tuning in from Brazil, so pardon me if my English is not that good. I'm trying my best, but English is not my main language. So anyway, I'm truly happy to be here. I am a Vision Train writer for a long, long time. If you don't know what the Vision Train is, it's an online, non-stop global art jam where artists from all over the globe gather to create art together. It was created by the amazing painter Amanda Sage, and it's a part of the culture of the community of the visionary artists already, and many other artists come together for this purpose to create the best art that we can and be accountable for it. And yeah, I'm truly glad to be a part of this community. It's such an honor. And well, the Vision Training Focus is this moment that we gather here to spotlight the artists from the. Oh, you can listen to me? Can you guys listening to me? Yeah? Okay, nice. And so anyway, the Vision Train Focus. Well, I come up with that name and I really wanted to use it because, well, the Vision Train is such a inspiring community. And by coming together, by doing this trip, everyone can come together here and share more deeply about their life and their path that lead them to this moment here now. And it's so incredible because we had artists from UK, Ireland, and North Carolina already presented here. It was Molly and Sunny and Joe. And now we have Brittney here. She's also tuning in from the US. But we are a global community. And the synchronicities, the similarities that we can find on each other's lives that lead us to this moment, that lead us to this culture. It's so amazing to hear about it in depth. And well, I'm glad that Brittney accept this invitation. And well, let's bring her here to the spotlight. Brittney, how you doing?
Hello, everybody. I'm doing really well. I'm really glad to be here. Thank you for asking me to be a part of this. I really think it's such a positive thing to hear more about everybody that rides the Vision Train, and we get to share our stories with each other and go a little bit deeper. I think that's special. So thank you so much for doing this.
Yay, I deeply appreciate. And also, well, I was trying to gather people for this year, actually, well, for this season of the Vision Train that are that deeply work for the Vision Train, that deeply committed their time and life for the Vision Train, because we have like this community that, well, we volunteer our life, we volunteer our time for this project because, well, each of us believe on how this can impact the world, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I've already seen it impact the world in 4 years. Just just this space that we can be together and talk about the same interests and the same passions and the same things that keep us stubborn in making art is it's really incredible what comes out of this space of growth, and to see everybody bloom and blossom in just a short amount of time, it feels like. So yeah, we believe in this. This is a good thing.
Yes, for sure, we believe in this and how we can impact each other's life and also the ones that are there watching us or watching the recording. Well, Brittany, you have a presentation for us, right?
I do. I do.
Yes, let's set this up then. I'm excited.
Okay, so I thought I would start at the beginning because art has always been a part of my life. So here's the beginning. How's it look? Everything looks good?
Yes, you just need to make your presentation full screen.
Okay, give it a second.
Done.
All right. So the beginning. This is little Brittany. Um, I was fascinated with cartoons from the start. I copied every cartoon that I watched. I would draw everything the best way that I could, and my imagination just went crazy watching all these cartoons like Looney Tunes and Disney and things like that. I loved the backgrounds and I was fascinated. Um, I had a pretty rough childhood, but when I was about 8, I met my grandmother through marriage, and she was an angel. She really saw my talent and nurtured it. And she gave me a safe space to explore new ideas and new things and crafting. Here I'm crafting at the Sawdust Festival with her, and I did some watercolor, and I draw a lot of horses. So that's kind of how it started there. And here's my grandmother. This is her. She looks so gorgeous in this picture. I'm sad it's blurry, but she did a watercolor art, and most of her paintings were flowers and landscapes, but they were gigantic, that some of them take up whole walls. So just an example of what I was looking at all the time. And I got to go to gallery shows with her and sit at galleries and paint in the corner while she did things, and kind of got a taste of the life through her. So she's very important. This is my art in high school. I had a all-girl band, and we made all our own flyers, stickers. I ended up making some CD covers for my friends' bands. I painted, and my band was super important, but art was the next best thing. And I think in senior year, I got this opportunity to make a t-shirt design for somebody, and I ended up landing the job with this little angel girl down here. And that was my first like real artist gig, was I got to design these t-shirts. So that was fun. Let's see, things weren't great at home, so I left abruptly, and I ended up exploring the tattoo world, and I decided I was going to be a tattoo artist. This is my first tattoo over in the corner, and I designed it myself and took it to the tattoo shop and got it done. And then this is me exploring all the designs and images. I would just get lost in tattoo magazines and copy everything I could and try to put together my own designs. So it really fueled something. But it turned out that being a tattoo artist back in 2002, 2003, it was not a safe environment, and it was not a good environment for women back then. Before all the tattoo shows came out, it just wasn't the place. So me feeling like it was a little dangerous, I gave up, and I still painted here and there, but really I was more interested in partying, and that's the picture of the Mohawk over here. I was going to punk rock shows, I was hanging out in Hollywood, and this kind of took center stage because the tattoo thing didn't work out. So that's a little taste of that's where Brittney Monster, my name, came from. and um, around, I don't know, 2011, I went to my first music festival. So you can see my art changes drastically because I've been exposed to psychedelics, but with more of a purpose than I was partying with them before. Um, there is an interest, a newfound interest in the sacred geometry. I got obsessed with cymatics and the uh, the patterns that the frequencies make over water and how that affects our bodies and the water in our bodies. That was a real big interest to me. So I started screen printing all these designs of cymatics on everything, and still painting. I found a job at a smoke shop where I met some glass artists, and I ended up doing a lot of paintings for them of their pipes, and they would trade me like little pendants for paintings. So it kind of got me back into my art again and grounded me with what I liked to do. I worked full time. I worked probably 60 hours at the smoke shop. So I was doing it a lot. But then I became a little more serious about my art. And I think this picture kind of shows a nice transition. Like, this is what I'm about. This is what I love. And this is some kind of dedication. Um, After I found out you could live paint at festivals, I wanted to live paint everywhere I could go. I was hanging out at a lot of bars and punk clubs, and it was like rock and roll style. I didn't really hang out at the music festivals as much at first, but I've got all these pictures of painting at cannabis festivals and the bar and some clubs. And I started realizing that I didn't like being vulnerable in places like bars. It was a little more difficult. So the gap between where I was hanging out all the time and where I wanted to hang out started to widen, and the people that I wanted to surround myself with kind of, they fell off as I went because I became dedicated to something that was bigger than me, and I didn't know where it was going, but I trusted it. And my friends didn't understand that. My friends just wanted me to come to the bar and go drinking, and I was like, no, I'm going to stay home and paint. So I gave up a lot of things around this time to explore more of my art. Um, and then I moved away from my hometown because none of my relationships were working out. And a lot of them seemed to be pretty toxic. And I was running away from myself, it felt like. So I moved to Northern California to go work with a friend at some festivals, and we would sell glass pipes and listen to music. And eventually I weaseled my art into our shows, and I had a breakthrough with this fox painting. I think that was my first serious painting when I moved away from my home. And I'm not sure what came through, but it just felt so powerful. I did a little series of foxes and animals that meant things to me. And we traveled around, and I got to paint with some pretty cool people and got my art in Branch's mobile gallery, which was really exciting at the time. And here's my flyer on Northern Nights Music Festival. I did a lot of Northern California festivals like Enchanted Forest, and Sunset Sound System was really fun. But to have my artwork hanging up like next to Blake Foster's art and all these big names was, I just couldn't believe it. So it kept pushing me. Um, my partner and I, but we got together in Northern California. He's a glass blower. We decided to move to Colorado. And this is where I'm live painting a little bit more at some Burning Man events. I've always been kind of on the outskirts of Burning Man, but I've never been to Burning Man. So um, and then I discovered the Vision Train, and I was a part of the Mushroom Magic Show. And this changed a lot of how I was viewing my art and what was coming out of me. I wanted it to be more meaningful. So this double-headed Raven piece was like a big pivot for me. And then I discovered Sweat Lodge, and my partner and I do Lakota Sweat Lodge, and um, a lot of ceremonies in that way. And that also has a big impact on my art and how I how I work and how I kind of present myself. And I started doing all these affirmations in 2020, and I got an iPad. So I'm starting to dive into digital art a little bit more and make labels for friends and art cards and designs and logos. Here's a couple more. This is some of my graphic work. These are all designs I've done in the last probably 6 years for a few different people. A lot of them are glass artists. Those are my affirmations that I was doing in Colorado. And these are some of my pet portrait illustrations and my illustrations for daily visions that I was doing on the Vision Train in 2023. I made it five or 6 months out of the 12 months that I was going for doing these every day, but I think that's pretty good. uh, And then here's my character Dibs that I also developed when in Colorado. And every year in October, my Instagram followers will give me prompts. So Dibs goes on all these adventures during the month of October, and these are some of my favorite ones. But he's been so fun. I just draw this raccoon doing all these crazy things, and I've got leggings and enamel pins and mugs and all kinds of things with him on it. And this is my driveway now in New Mexico. So this is where I live, and it's 10 acres of wide open space. I barely have any neighbors. I feel a lot of space to create. So this is my artwork currently. This is my first self-portrait with Amanda Sage up here. And my first mesh technique explorations. This way of painting has changed my entire vision. I feel like I'm able to bring things to life a little bit with more depth, and it gives me more freedom. I feel like I can change things throughout the process in a way that I could not do before with direct painting. So yeah, this style has given me wings, and I can't learn enough about it. I got to study with Kevin Campo and Christina Lazar and a couple other people who are just amazing with the mesh technique. So I'm trying to incorporate all of their styles into something that I'm doing and take from all these masters. And then this is Cosm, which I just got back from at the beginning of the month. This is me now. I got to do a self-portrait and study with all these amazing people from all over the world. And this is my self-portrait before I added skin tone and think I ruined it. So I didn't ruin it. I'm just waiting for it to get home, and then I can dive in again and fix the things that I need to fix. But this was a big feat because in the beginning, it didn't look like me, and I had to edit the entire lower half of the face to get to this point. But it set me back like almost a whole day, and it was pretty gnarly. But the whole theme for me was don't be lazy. And I didn't want to be lazy because I knew it was going to look wrong. And I went back and edited it during this big class, and it was a triumph so far. Yeah, and I think that's the end of my presentation. But yeah, what a wild ride. And here I am now and making dreams for the future.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing, Brittany. Wow. And no, you didn't ruin your painting. It's looking like, whoa, like that skin tone. Like, how did you get to that? Like, come on. Like, come on. It's wow. It's so incredible. Like, it's even possible to see the transition from your first portrait to this one now. It's such an evolution. Like, wow, it's sparkle. Thank you so much for sharing. So we have a message from our co-host that is across the ocean from America. She's not able to join us today, but she's saying, well, have a great session. I'm there in spirit, looking forward to watching later. Big hugs to all. Yay, Amanda, thank you so much. We are truly glad that we are here on the Vision Train and we are able to share this experience together. And well, Brittney, wow, you are such a talent artist. I didn't know that art, art was in your life like since you were a small child and you had your grandmother then to inspire you, right? To push you to this direction. Wow, so beautiful. And originally, where are you from there in the US?
Originally, I'm from Southern California, so LA, San
Hmm.
Diego area.
Hmm. And now you are in New Mexico, right?
Yes.
Amazing. What a transition. And well, my first question is you 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 say of that moment that you transition of uh, from you wanted to dedicate it more about your art, you wanted to just do that. What was like the pivot moment that made you do these transitions? Because before you were like in tattoo, and then before, well, you were just a kid, and then, well, what was this moment that made you, okay, I'm an artist?
I kind of danced back and forth with it. I think the most pivotal moment was I went to Lightning in a Bottle in 2011 and I saw the live painters and it like opened up this whole world because I didn't know that you could do that for a living. I didn't know that that was possible. So it opened up a whole new world for me. And then I saw Alex and Allison Gray talk. They did like a speech in one of these pavilions and it was like midday and it was so hot, but we ended up sitting near the front row and he was talking about art as a mission and art as something that is our responsibility to share. And it blew my mind. I didn't know that it was so important. I just thought people, paint and that's something that you can get good at and that's something that maybe you can make money off of if you're lucky. But he talked about it as this relationship and this thing that you must share. And it clicked some things together for me. And the next couple of years, I was dancing back and forth between like working 60 hours at the smoke shop and just promoting other people's work, which was glass art and glass pipes. I was a buyer and seller for, so I focused a lot on other people's stuff and trying to amplify it. But eventually I figured out, well, I could do this all for myself and I could probably promote myself the same way that I'm promoting all these guys and maybe it'll work out. And it kind of worked out as I went along. And the more it worked out, the more that this other identity that I had like grasped and tried to be so hard that just kind of fell away. And all the people that weren't supportive fell away. And I didn't have to do anything. I just followed this little thread. And it opened up so many doors. And I'm so glad that I stepped through those doors because sometimes when I left my hometown and all my friends and my job and everything I knew, um, it was like the soberest ego death ever. is what I call it. Like I didn't have to do anything to give me that ego death. I didn't really know who I was for a couple months after moving away. It was just um, I really deconstructed everything so that I could rebuild myself as an artist. I was like ready. So when I arrived in Northern California, that was a lot of healing and a lot of walking with the trees and a lot of painting. But that's how I survived. So it was really like, get it. You better get it right this time because you can't turn around. There's no way back.
Yes, art has these ways of putting us in this path that, well, sometimes we have to give up everything behind, right? To be able to sustain ourselves in this mission. Yes. And when was this in Alex Ray? You say where as well?
Alex Gray, I think that happened in 2011. So it took me until 2017 to really make the decision.
Mhm.
And, it didn't really have to be as dramatic as it was, but it was all dramatic.
Yeah, well, these things we don't choose, but anyway, it's like how things flow, right? Like how these moments that we say, okay, I'm going to this path, and it just happened. And you say you were like live painting in festivals and all these places. And how was this experience? You say, well, and what was like the difference between live painting in these transformative festivals and live paintings in bars and that kind of environment?
It was such two completely different places altogether. Like the festivals, I was meeting people who were helpful and like heart-centered and really wanted to be friends. But the bar was like I kind of wanted everybody to stay away from me and you don't want to like talk to anybody. And if you paint somebody nude, everybody's like, "Oh, is that you?" Kind of creepy. And it was just not the same at all. The heart space, I could be more vulnerable. And I liked the authenticity of everybody that I was experiencing in the music festival scene as compared to like the bar, where I think is just like alcohol is a different mindset. And substances have a lot of things to do with the atmosphere for sure. And I just didn't really feel safe in the end. I was starting to feel like, oh, you have to be so hard and you have to lock everything up. And I didn't want to be like that anymore. I just wanted to grow and let the light shine. But it's really hard to do in, in spaces that try to put the light out.
Yes,
So
for sure. Yes, for sure. And well, um, so what do you think it was your biggest challenge in this artistic journey so far?
I think the biggest challenge was talking myself into making the choice. I, I feel like this life committed to art and dedicated to art asks you to sacrifice a lot of things that are normal. And as artists, I don't think that we live normal lives because we see things completely different. And the normalcy is just it's something that you want to kind of fit in, but you just can't ever because I don't know, artist brain, we have a whole different vision and we're trying to say things that people can't see. We're trying to interpret something that isn't nobody's interpreted before. So you have to be weird and you have to give up a lot of things that your friends are going to think you're weird for giving up. And your family's going to think you're weird. The eccentric aunt that walks around with flowy artistic clothes. like I guess that's me now. And that's okay. That's totally fine. And my grandma taught me that. Like you can you can be as flamboyant as you want. Just make your life creative and beautiful. And I I don't think that's the focus of a lot of the people in this world. Is like creating beauty from the pain and creating beauty from suffering and figuring out ways to let people know that we all belong here. So
Hmm. Yes. So what do you say is like the message that you put in your paintings? That's something like the message that you put in your paintings for the viewers to see? What will be that message?
um gosh, that's tough because I'm trying to pin it down. But lately my paintings have just been free. Like my spirit is free out here. The horizons are so vast and the sky is so big. I'm trying to say something about it. Like this painting behind me. This is like my view of the mountains from New Mexico to Colorado, and I'm trying to convey these feelings of like space and symbolism and freedom. I'm not sure what that means yet, but it's going somewhere.
Yes, they all kind of they are all the same atmosphere but different symbols. So they are like each of them seems like a message. And is there a work that you mentioned about the fox, but is there a work that you did that was transformative in your life and why?
Yes, and I don't have the picture on hand, but I did a painting that started out really dark. It was me. My reference was me holding a light in front of me and screaming. And it was all black except for this light in front of my mouth, and you can kind of see the lower part. And I started it, and I had no idea where this was going. It was just a feeling so far. And all of a sudden, the throat chakra symbol, I was like, oh, I should put that in there. So I put it in the throat, and then the heart chakra, and then it came from below that. The solar plexus was below that. So it was all of a sudden it turned into this thing about using my voice from my knowing, my gut, and channeling it through my heart, and then it coming out of my mouth. And it was about speaking my truth. And I didn't really know until it was finished. And I was like, oh, this is me telling people what I really want and not what everybody wants from me. This is me saying, I want to be an artist. I want to dedicate myself to this. There's something bigger. And when I started saying stuff like that, that's when everything changed. So it was kind of like a confirmation, like you're on the right path because you're opening this up and you're speaking from your truth through your heart. And once that happens, you can't go back.
Yes, you can't go back for sure. And wow, what an amazing journey that a canvas can do in your life, right? And do you have any like rituals that you practice or like your environment that you prepare before you paint?
Occasionally, if it's painting, um, I'll usually clear out the air, I'll smudge the air in the house, and I love incense. So incense and candles kind of remind me that something's going on and not to get, sidetracked. Like the incense and the candles burning is like intentional, like we're creating space for this right now. And yeah, don't get sidetracked. That's kind of it. I do sweat lodge almost every weekend, and that clears out all my junk usually. So I'm renewed after that. And having that in my life is a pretty big deal. I'm really thankful that I'm able to clear it out in that physical way. The physical things usually help me move through stuff. So Sweat Lodge is beautiful for that.
Yes, I was going to ask, that was the second question about that is a ritual that you go to get inspiration. So the Sweat Lodge is one, right? Uh,
Sometimes that's
yes.
more to just clean it out. It's like a cleansing ceremony, so that I can let whatever else come through. But standing outside in my backyard is probably the place where I go for the most inspiration. It gets windy out there and there's nothing around and it's so quiet. I can hear the ravens' wings as they fly by. Like I can just stand out there and things will come to me pretty fast. So
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, from that picture that you share and what you keep sharing uh, on your social media, yeah, we can get this idea of this vast place of that you can connect with the infinite. It's just there. And well, speaking about your work of art, can you describe like your creative process from the beginning until the finished work? Like where you get the inspiration? Does it comes with a plan? You follow the plan or intuition, or yeah, how you go from that?
it's pretty my I wish I could show you my desk because it's like an explosion. I have little stations. I have a painting station, like a gouache and ink station. This my computer, and then I have a billion sketchbooks. So I create something every day. And in order to do that, I found that I had to create different things. So sometimes it's digital art, sometimes it's illustration, sometimes it's big paintings. But whatever it is, I have to feel it that day. So I kind of have everything set up to where if I feel like doing something, I can walk straight up and do it. And when it hits me, and I have this really cool lifestyle because I live out in the middle of nowhere and my cost of living is very low. So I kind of just get to do what I want and do what I feel like doing. And it's working out. Like I'm able to pay my bills and everything, but it might not be, I don't have extra money, but this is what I've chosen to do. And I think it works better for me than a schedule and having a schedule of set things. Because when there's a schedule, it feels like a lot of pressure. And for for me to be in my creative mode, I don't really want to feel too much of that. So having different stations and getting out and exercising and then coming back and getting down. I don't know. It just depends on how my body feels. I really listen to it lately. So
Yes, having this possibility of choosing what you're going to create on that day. Yeah, I also live off grid, outside of connection of the city, and I can do my routine as well. So yeah, I can totally understand of this sitting down and just feeling what the flow, what will flow on that day, right? And uh, like what comes out from it. But I want to know more about like how did you develop this your this signature, this visual signature that you have all along these years? Like how was the process of finding out this visual identity that you have?
the exploring with the mesh technique has it's there's so many ways you can do it. So many ways, and I've been trying it with acrylics, and I'm pretty sure in January I'm gonna start with oils. So it's a big step, but you can there's so many different steps along the way of niche technique, and I found out like you can leave some of them out or you can and utilize just a little bit of it because it's so many layers of glazing of these light glazes. So like back here, I left the imprimatura as the background on the top of the skull here. That was really fun. And then kind of did it with my rabbit here too. I left the mountains here in premature. I just loved how they looked so earthy. And then I went in with a darker blue in the top. And I think that's kind of what's happening with this look is I'm leaving in prematura in spots. And then I really love the glazing with the dark blues. And it's really scary for a minute, but you come back in with the whites and the local color and you save it. And it's so exciting every step of the process for me because you just don't know what it's going to look like and you have to bring it back each step. So that's been fun.
Yes, wow, the mesh technique. Wow, what to say about this technique, right? It just changes everything when you are creating. Like just level up another another set of skills on creating on like what will you do with the painting? What will you do with the creation? And but like you beside these paintings, you also do like these cartoonish, like kind of paintings and with the animals. And well, how was this? Um, like, what inspired you to pick up these animals and these symbols to make this your style?
Um, my grandma also worked at Disneyland in the 50s and 60s, and that's where her and my grandpa met. It's the cutest story. But so living in Southern California too, and it was like $32 for a kid to go if you lived in California back then. So we went to Disneyland a lot, especially with grandma and grandpa. And grandma had all the Disney movies that she's collected over the years, and her entire Christmas tree was all these little felt ornaments that she made of all the Disney movies. So each character from each movie and they each have their spot on the Christmas tree is pretty crazy. She was like, that was so inspiring. Like at Disney, everything. I loved Disney. And I think that's all my cartoon inspiration. I'm still fascinated with the old watercolor backgrounds and some of the old movies you can see all the drawing lines when they're moving. You can see some of the sketch lines and I just love that. It's juicy stuff and it's so imaginative and fun and carefree. And I think like part of my past when it was tough as a little kid, I think I celebrate it through these cartoons that I do now. I'm celebrating little Brittney and kind of giving her the freedom to do whatever she wants in that realm. So it's like a whole different style that I have, and I'm not sure how to incorporate both. It's almost like I need a different page, art page for my cartoons than I do my paintings. And like, oh, I'm getting so serious with my mish technique now. Like, are you sure you want to share paintings of your little raccoons? And it's fun to see what ups and downs I go through in my head about sharing them together. But it's all of what I do. So I want everybody to see everything I do in one place. So yeah, trying to meld them together.
Yeah, well, I think they fit together just perfect because well, mesh technique it is serious because well, it takes a while to finish a painting and there is like this diving to the canvas and where when you are creating this cartoonish, like you say, it's fun, it's creative, it's innocent, right? There is
Yes.
like this play that you put into it and they fit perfect. No, don't separate Brittney Monster paintings and Brittney Monster cartoons. No, 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 no. They should go together because they are a part of what you are and what you create. But yeah, since you mentioned social media, you have some experience in that area, right? Can you share more about it?
Oh, with social media, what I I've been working through social media with companies for, I don't know, since Instagram came out. I think since Facebook came out, the smoke shop had me doing all kinds of content and logos and videos way back in the day. And that's kind of what I did before I left Southern California. That's what I did for my job. I would buy and sell high-end glass art and do the social media accounts for all these people. So I continued doing that a little bit in Colorado with a candle company who I also did some graphic design for. But I ended up like taking product photos for her website and for all these different for her social media and grew her account pretty large. And now I do it for the Vision Train. And I love doing it for the Vision Train because I feel like it connects me more with everybody and I can really keep an eye on what my community is up to and be an advocate and share and be a part of like I'm the cheerleading squad, I feel like, and I want all my friends to get out there and do their thing. So yeah, social media is a love-hate thing, but I am really interested in, I like making content. I like making videos and things like that. It's a different kind of creativity. But all the other politics about it I could do without.
Yes, well, so for the Vision Train, you handle the Vision Train Instagram page, right?
Yeah.
Yes, everyone, you should follow the Vision Train page because there you can get like up to date on what the global artistic scene is doing. And well, Brittney is the one selecting it for us to see. And well, I really like it. I found like many times I find new artists. I find so many incredible inspirations there. So thank you for doing this work. Yeah, it's great. And well, you mentioned like about this social media, well, not dark side, but there is the politics side that, well, what to do about it. So, but my question is like, with the you following social media for a long time, working with that for a long time, how do you see this development and the influence that the social media has into the artistic life, into the artist's life, and into sharing art as well? Like, how do you see this development and where we are now with that?
It's come such a long way, and I've seen so many people use it so many different ways that I can't stop but be inspired by how we're almost forced to be creative in a new facet. And I've always kind of been interested in video editing. I did a little bit in high school on VCRs and stuff like that. But um, it's fun to watch what everybody does with it. I'm very interested in the creative process of everybody else and coming up with my own ideas too, to have people look at my art that doesn't look like what everybody else is doing. But if you don't do the same thing that everybody else is doing, you might not get seen at the same time. So I've um I've kind of stuck to the same program of sharing funny little videos and just my art. And I really think that that's a sacred space to share just my art. And I try not to waver off that path. So if you're following me, it's going to be my art or something related to art. And I try not to put too much else in there. Um, I do notice that the dark side is when we start comparing ourselves to other people on there without knowing what goes into what the other person is making. A lot of times I hear artists saying that they wish their art was this good, or I wish I could do that, but you don't know what happened in that person's life to make their art look like that. Like there's a jump from how it started and how you ended up with something. And I think a lot of people that have now grown up with just social media, they don't see the in between part. They just think, oh, we're artists, and we just magically appeared here as artists, and we're able to do this thing that's amazing. But there's a whole section that you're missing. Like you don't know about the loss of friendships and the all the hard things that we had to go through to dedicate ourselves to this craft. So like be careful what you wish for, I guess. I've seen my partner blows glass and he's had a couple apprentices. Um, and they just think that they're going to be like this star glass blower in a month. But really it takes you like a month to get used to the flame and how hot and how not hot the flame gets. And they get super frustrated because they just want to be the star. That's what I've realized about social media. There's like kind of a disconnect in the journey. So it's like an instant gratification, instant serotonin, instant whatever you want, you can get it on your phone right now. But the the real craftsmanship and dedication, it's a it looks different than it does on social media. I don't really know how to explain that more, but
Yeah, well, I can totally get it. Like this instant, uh, well, you want to be on social media, get all the followers, and be that one with thousands of views and thousands of reviews and
did I lose you? Oh, Marina. She'll be back. I think we lost the connection there. There she is.
I'm back. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Let's see what happens to the live stream. I don't know if we're live stream still. I think we are because it's not dependent on the Zoom, but let's check. Hi, everyone. I just had a crash from my internet signal, and I'm just checking if the live stream's still on YouTube and Facebook. I hope it is. I can see it's on now on Instagram. No, Instagram, sorry, on YouTube. Yes, yes. Okay, on YouTube we are rolling. So on Facebook we should be rolling as well. Well, technical problems, they happened. And we are just talking about social media, right?
Yeah.
And well, how we depend on it. Uh-huh. So let me get back here, add into spotlight. Well, we are back now. I'm glad. So we were talking about like how we perceive social media, how this instant gratification and the loss of the process, right? And well, I am so on social media since 2009 and I just love sharing on social media. And like what you say, I tend to just share about my artwork, about what I'm creating, and not like about my opinions and what my beliefs are, because everyone can get like this can trigger someone and it really doesn't matter because I found that social media should be this easy place, it's supposed to connect, yes, it's supposed to be, it can be a revolution, yes, but it needs to be organized. You cannot like offend someone. It's not nice to offend anyone when you are making a post. you just want to share something. So yeah, there is this um, side of the internet that we can like this black hole, and when we are sharing on social media, we just pick this little square of your timeline of your life, and then you post it. So it's like a frame of, maybe you can collect some pictures from the month and then you post. Maybe you can collect like a few hours of you painting your canvas and you post. But it's just a fragment of what it is, right? Yeah, I
Right.
think
And opinions and feelings about things that are going on are super important too. I just want to say, like, I think everybody's feelings are super valid about everything that they feel. I just yeah, I choose no, not everybody knows me this well and on a personal level. So the inflection is not there. And you don't know my heart when I'm sharing something like that, you know. So if you don't know my heart and I'm opening up at like this is my opinion, it's kind of, I just don't see why I would have to share that with people I don't know that well. It just seems to put you in a spot that you're asking for criticism that may not even be necessary because they kind of just missed what you were saying because they don't know you. I don't know. But
yes,
really,
yes.
yeah,
Hmm. Like they don't know you. They don't know what you are thinking. They don't know like what made you have this experience to have this opinion. Yeah,
right.
right. Yeah, it's so like complex this. And well, on social media we have a lot of art that is like just for entertainment. And in the culture that we are here of the visionary, of the psychedelic art, of this transformative art, is different, right? Is another purpose. So, what do you think is the difference between like this, like commercial of this entertainment art to this transformative art?
I've been trying to pick that apart for a while because I follow a couple accounts on Instagram and they're just doodles on a post-it note. And they have thousands and thousands of likes and follows. Just do a little doodle on a post-it note. And you're watching them do this every day for a long time. And they're really cultivating consistency and dedication. So I don't know if there's much of a difference. It's just like the content that's being put out. Like it could be a doodle, but the person that's putting that doodle out there every day is doing something every day that's making something and sharing it. And they're learning stuff about themselves by doing that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm learning about myself with every painting I do. It's just a little more complex than doodling on a post-it note, but that's my decision. So, yeah, I don't know. The commercial art, there is such thing as art with no feeling because you when you look at something, you're like, oh, that has nothing in it, but still there's a story behind it. So I can't, it's hard for me to judge too much because there's still a process. And the process involves taking something out of your head and putting it out on a physical thing and sharing it, which is really vulnerable all around. Not a lot of people feel like they have anything to share. You know, there's a lot of people, I can't even draw a stick figure, but like if you practice 10 days in a row, I bet you could draw a really cool one and then you could share it and people would be like, what is this? It's just a stick figure. But you had to practice that for 10 days to be able to draw it. So I hope that makes sense.
Yes, totally, that makes sense. Yes, and yeah, well, each art that comes out of us, it's coming out of us. So yeah, it's a process. Like we and well, what I mean about the entertainment art is supposed to be more like for entertainment, like I don't know, like I don't even know how to explain it, like but like what you say, it comes out of someone. Someone had to draw it or make it on AI or I don't know, somewhere else. And that comes out of a human anyway. Hmm.
Yeah, and even AI is just scraping all the human art, so it still had a process.
Yeah, and the process in AI, like how can you make the machine understand what you want? This is the challenge of AI art.
Yeah, that is a challenge.
Well, speaking of transformative experience, let's dive into your experience at Cosm at the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. My friends out there on YouTube and Facebook, we have such an incredible community of visionary artists all over the globe that goes to some place physical to study with the great masters, with the great painters. And here on the Vision Training Focus, coincidentally, we had like the previous three interviewers that I asked for the vision train, they were all part of these workshops. And Joe went to the Vienna Academy of Visionary Art. Sani went to New York for the same course that Brittney was just now. And Molly as well had just come back from studying with Alex and Alison Gray on the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. So this synchronicity of this place and this community that goes to this place to study, it just blew my mind when I realized that. And well, I want to hear all about it. Like, how was the idea to go? How it came? And how did you leave? You go by car, and how was this trip? And arriving there, what you feel? I want to know all about it.
The whole thing. Um, Amanda's been doing this class for a couple years every October. And every October I want to go for my birthday because it's like falls on the same dates. And every October the finances are just not there. So this October wasn't different, but my partner for my birthday decided that he was going to send me there. So at first I didn't think, I was like talked myself out of it. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go. And then he's like, oh, you want your birthday present early? And I said, sure. And he's like, well, I talked to Amanda and you're going to Cosm and you're gonna go study with her. And I'm getting you your own room and like really made it bougie for me. And he works so hard. He blows glass in the evenings and does construction in the mornings. So he made it happen, but barely. Like this is a luxury for us. So it was really, really special. And then I had a raffle on my website, and a lot of friends from the Vision Train and a lot of friends online uh, pitched in and bought something and to win from like a prize from my raffle. So that bought all my plane tickets, and that I barely made it there, but I made it. And flying over New York City was pretty trippy, coming from the rural area and going into a crazy city like that was disorienting. And I was like, what am I doing? And arriving in Grand Central Station was overwhelming. Um, yeah, just couldn't believe how fast everything was moving. It was a little culture shock. But taking the train from Grand Central to Cosm was beautiful. It was all on the Hudson. All the leaves were changing. It was gorgeous. I had a chance to take a deep breath and try to get back in my body before I ended up at the Gray House. And then I met one of the students after the train, and we Ubered up to the gray house, and both of us are just like, oh my gosh, this is it. We're at Cosm. Like this, we've been dreaming about this for a long time, and like we're rolling up to this place together right now to take a class. It was pretty fun. And then got into our rooms and uh, got settled. I got to meet Amanda and Joe Bob and got the biggest hug. And it's so weird being friends with somebody on Zoom for like 4 years and finally meeting them physically. And you're like, I don't know, putting the two together was really hard. Like, well, why you're not behind the screen right now? Like we're just in person hanging out. And Rosie and all my classmates were really awesome. And we celebrated my birthday that night with Amanda got little key lime pies and put candles in them. And they sang happy birthday to me. And then we saw the auroras. We like the whole sky was like magenta and green. That's the first time I've ever seen that. So it was a pretty epic birthday. And then the classes were awesome. We started with Joe Bob in the morning and then painted all afternoon. And if we got stuck or something, we could walk over to Intheon and check out those paintings, like Alex Gray paintings, and Amanda's paintings are in there, and Jonathan Soltaire and Hannah Yada and her husband. They have paintings in there, and it's just to be able to take breaks and walk around in there was pretty awesome. I I can't I don't have words for that. Like we just got to walk around and stand in front of these epic artworks. And the second floor made me cry because it was so beautiful and everything's like gold frames and it's all about Alex and Allison's love for each other. It's like their whole life journey together. And just seeing these things in person like opened my heart. It was like blasted open and cried a little bit. So it was intense. It was intense being able to go in there. And we got a tour from Alex and Allison. So we got to listen to them talk about their work. That was a really fun day. And they had dinner with us every night. And we all got along so well. It was I think 12 artists in the group. So it was really intimate. And Amanda could spend more time with each one of us. And just the way that she teaches is so present. And she really wants you to dive into what you're doing. She's not trying to change your ideas. She just empowers you. And I love her style of teaching and I look up to her very much, especially after this intensive. Just recommend it 10 out of 10. Everybody should go study with Amanda. And yeah, the self-portrait came out okay. I'm just waiting for it to get shipped back to me so I could finish it up. Um, and I can't wait to see the other artist friends I made come on the vision train and hang out with us. We had everybody hang out one of the nights. I don't know if you were there, Marina. No, but we had a bunch of people show up and we got to jam with them. We projected them on the wall, so it felt like I was at home. It was great. Yeah, I would like to go back next year and the year after and just go back to remember why I'm doing this and get the little fire in my heart lit before we go into the winter months. Because that's what I feel like I'm like got a bonfire in my heart and it's gonna be a juicy winter for all this stuff to come out.
Wow, how inspiring, Brittany. Wow, thanks for sharing this. And well, I can say that I wanted these minimal details because it's a dream of mine. And well, I'm here in Brazil, so I even need a visa to go into the US to be able to visit the Pantheon and had a have a chance to study with Amanda in person, you know. It's for me it's a dream. I don't even know if life will grant me this big gift because well, I'm far, far away from that reality. So in you sharing in what Sani also shared when she did the vision train focus and well, it's just it's just amazing. I cannot even imagine. I can see from now actually like this fire on your heart
Yeah.
because yeah, it changes, right? It just changes, right?
It reinforces everything I'm doing. And to have classmates that have also had a life story that's, we're all coming from a different place, but we all ended up there, and like how that happened, and it all just started with I really want to go there, like you're saying right now. Like if you decide that that's what you want to do, the whole universe conspires to make it happen. What is that, The Alchemist? Yeah. And it does happen like that. I've been trying to make it work since like before Entheon was built. I wanted to go see Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. So it's taken me that long to make it there. And I wasn't gonna go because like, oh, my finances, I should be irresponsible. But I ended up going and being totally irresponsible. And like, I probably had $100 to my name while I was traveling. And that's not a lot of money when you're across the, you know, but I made it happen because that was the door that was open. And sometimes you just gotta walk through it without some stuff that makes you feel safe. And that's okay.
Hmm. Yeah, well, ain't about like the monetization. Well, we had one comment about it also, like on YouTube, about this making art, mentoring, and asking money for it. And well, I don't think there is any shame on like you have this amazing skill, like Amanda, that study for 10 years with the amazing painter Ernest Fuchs. And when one in this lifetime have a chance to be in the study, in the studio actually, and study with an amazing artist. And you can say that even like of musicians, of filmmakers, of writers, when one in this lifetime, when like monetization and economics are not good for many people, and well, when you get the chance of doing that, so yeah, you weren't that crazy of traveling cross country with $100 on your account. It's just like you're a dreamer. You are like you give incentive, you give inspiration to many other people to do that. And well, imagine that you were there in the US and you didn't go to, well, you were in the West Coast, right? And Incheon is on the East Coast. You had to really cross country. But anyway, like for myself, I need to go more than 10,000 kilometers and get a visa and blah, blah, blah to be able to go there. And you that were that close, not even you were able to go there, like to follow this dream, and only now happened. So it's really inspiring. And well, it keeps my hope alive that
Yeah, it's like if you want to go, you can make it happen, and it's worth it. It's like it's worth all the travel anxiety. It's worth all the things about making money that you're worried about. It's worth all of it to be there if you want to go there, because it was very fulfilling for my artistic journey. And it just kind of hammers in place that like this is what we're doing. This is my mission. And to be around other people that are so dedicated, it's so inspiring to be around that energy. Like I totally want my whole house to be like an artist compound now. I'm building a museum on my 10 acres, and building a little artist place where we can house everybody and cook food.
yes, yes, let's do it.
Yes.
Physical train stations, more physical train stations, please, please, yes, please.
Yes.
Yes. So what made you like identify yourself with this cultural movement of the visionary art?
I think I kind of just fell into it with the vision train. I'd never thought of myself as visionary. I didn't really understand what visionary art, the exact definition was at first. But after writing the vision train and getting to, there were lots of interviews that we did with lots of artists and hearing other people's journeys and experiences. I I was like, oh, I guess like it could fall under the category of visionary art because I'm painting dreams and I'm painting things from my imagination that I wish were real. So that's a vision, you know. My definition of vision kind of expanded, like what that could be.
Yes, well, the visionary movement, well, the visionary art. This quote, I believe it was written by Carl Jung around the 60s, and it defined what you say, like these visions that comes from dreams and from this land of the infinite that we put into the canvas. That's the evolution of also like the fantastic realist movements that were in Vienna, that was creating all these crazy pictures and crazy visions. And well, the visionary tried to settle this into these transformative meanings, right? Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
windows into the other worlds. And that's really fascinating. Like just there you can translate it so many different ways and everybody sees something so different. But at the
Yes.
core, it's the vision, and people
Yes.
are attracted to that, like something that they're not used to, and it shakes them up a little bit. I like it.
Mhm. Yes, and what you mentioned, each of us like create a vision very different. Like this is mine and that's yours. Yeah, it's completely different, but anyway, they are both coming from this realm of this place, making the invisible visible. It's
Yeah.
one quote that's very famous of the visionary art. Yes. And well, so what are the rewarded? What are the rewards that you find in your artistic journey?
Oh man, that has to outweigh the bad stuff, you know? It's so rewarding to connect through people that are heart-centered. Um, I think that's the most rewarding thing because other people who are creating from their heart usually find their way to me through my art, and we get to connect and talk about what that's like, and sharing sharing these windows into my imagination and into my visions helps me connect to people in a different way than you normally would just hanging out. I think at at festivals, live painting and vending my art, there's a lot of people who are unconscious about these other worlds that we see and haven't really dove into these experiences or these types of visuals because it's more concrete, like the world is black and white, get right and wrong, like contrasting colors. um but the conversations that visionary art opens up between two people becomes something so deep, and I don't trying to look for words here. It's such a resonant experience with somebody. Like you're both kind of seeing the same thing, but you're discussing how different it is to each one of you. So you go deep into the psyche a little bit to where having regular conversations with people, you're like, well, how's your job? How's the kids? How's the house? But this way you're like, well, let's blast off in space right away. So yeah, um, I like this mode of transportation a lot better than other things.
Mhm. Yes, it gets a different connections, not on the surface, right? Yeah, we get to connect deeper. And you've been doing some market as well, like selling your stuff, not only online, right?
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, I do some in-person markets in town, the ones that I can get into. It's a lot of work to do that. So I don't prefer to do that, but I do like the networking and I do like meeting new people. It's but yeah, that's fun. And then it's mostly online. And I've had a lot of experience. I worked in retail for a long time and I managed a retail business for like 15 years. So that's where all my marketing experience comes from. And it has helped so much in making this a full-time thing. So I also have like little part-time gigs that I do, but they're mostly creative. But having
Mhm.
the retail experience was a big difference, I think, between me and some other artists that I've grown up around.
Yes, I can tell you, yes. I have no experience at all in retail. I have no idea how to build up a market shop of my artwork. Yes, I had to. If I'm going to that direction, I will ask you for some tips for sure because yes, it's something that it's really nice like this. I can imagine that's really nice this network that you can connect to people that have absolutely never seen anything of a visionary art. It will see like a bear with a plant inside and say, "What? What's that plant doing inside the bear?"
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good place to put a plug for the entrepreneurial palette. Every first Monday of each month on the Vision Train, we do a business chat and it's a discussion. And all of these artists, we show up on those days and we share resources about where to make prints and how to make websites and which websites platforms do you use and does it work for you? So it's not like we're telling anybody what to do, but we are resource sharing. And it's just the notes from this group are incredible. And if you want to join, let me know.
Yes, friends from YouTube and from the Facebook, you should join the Vision Train. Friends, to join the Vision Train, it's still free. There is a membership on the Mighty Network that you get access to more things and you can get to support the Vision Train. And like myself, Brittney is also a host here on the Vision Train, and she, together with Akemi, host this um, entrepreneur. I say this word right.
I can barely say it. It's okay.
Thank you.
The entrepreneurial, see, entrepreneurial palette.
Entrepreneur palette. This is the word paleta de empreendedorismo. In Portuguese, I can say it, but in English, it gets a bit hard. But anyway, it's really awesome that you both get to meet every Monday on the first Monday of the every Monday, sorry, on the first Monday of the month at 8 p.m. Brazil time. So it's 7 p.m. Eastern time. And you can get to log in on the Vision Train, and Brittney and Akemi will be sharing about their experience and tips about how to be an entrepreneur in the artistic business. And it's awesome. I checked a few of that trip the last couple of months. I was super busy and tend to forget, but I will not forget about it next. It will be next week, right? the next
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have on the 4th of on November 4th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Join the Vision Train, my friends, for this trip because it's juicy. And we have here like this amazing collective of artists that have so many experience on these subjects, right? Yes. Thank you so much for putting this together. It's awesome. And well, I have my last question for you. So, what do you like thinking of aspiring artists that are just beginning now? What do you think is essential in the construction of a true artistic path? And what are your advices?
I think figure out why you're making art. Figure out why first, because that will sustain you while you explore what kind of artwork you want to make. I think you need to know why. Um, if you're making art and you don't know why, you're still making art, and that's still awesome. But I think there's something deeper in all of us that choose to create, especially when we create visionary art. Like it's one thing to paint sacred geometry, and it's another thing to paint sacred geometry from a place or a thing that you experienced yourself. So, and that would be the reason why you had to paint it, because you experienced it, right? Otherwise, maybe you experience somebody else's experience and you're trying to figure out what it means. That's cool too, but I think there's so much to dive into in the inner journey, and painting brings it out of you whether you like it or not. If you dedicate yourself to this creative journey, you're going to find things out about yourself. So just dive in and do it all the way. That's what I think.
Yay, to that. Find your mission and follow it. Find your heart. Yeah, well, you find your heart when you get your mission. Yeah. And well, there is any future projects that you have in plan, that you have a plan?
I well, Amanda asked me during class, what do I see myself doing in the next 5 years? So um I haven't really thought about it before then. And I just kind of think about what's happening now all the time. But the next 5 years, I think some kind of teaching. I the Vision Train has opened up this space where I'm able to practice speaking. Like today was pretty crazy, but I made it. And it's such a nice group of people to practice in front of and to find my voice in front of, because it's so supportive. So that's pushing me into like figuring out what is something that I could teach. If it's not a technique, then maybe it's some kind of emotional tool or some kind of illustrative tool, but something. And then I would really like to have a set of kids' books in the next
Yeah.
couple years with my Dibs the raccoon, and maybe a poetry book with some illustrations because I really like doing poetry. Um, and that all happened on the Vision Train too. I wouldn't be writing my poetry anymore if it wasn't for Lizette's image word mystery classes. Those really set me on fire for being a poet. And then licensing. I really want to license out some design work, and I've been trying here and there, but not as serious. But if I can get my design on some with some serious brand, I think that'll be a big move, because then I can just get royalties from the brand and not have to do anything myself. So that's next up on the plate.
Wow, that sounds really nice. Wow. I can't wait to see those books. And I hope this licensing goes well because wow, what a dream. What a dream job. Mhm. And about the teachings, well, you will find your subjects, like what you are passionate about talking about. It's an amazing journey. I teach class as well on the Visionary Seeds community from Brazil, and it's full of visionary artists from Brazil. And on Thursday we have class, and on Thursday is my birthday as well. Yay!
Happy birthday.
And I will teach, and I also will gather with this community of visionary artists from Brazil. And I was like, no, I won't change the date. I will teach on my birthday because I don't know, it's teaching is something so I cannot even put into words. There is so many of good things related to it. And it feels like each class, also being here on the Vision Train, it feels like each of Vision Train in focus. It's a transformation that happens, you know? It's like, okay, next cycle, so it's on each class, I feel that as well. And on each gathering, we can have this opportunity of this transformative experience. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like teaching too, it helps you learn something in a new way, right? So when you're teaching, you're also integrating at the highest level. You're integrating this information and sharing it, and then you know it that much better. So each time you do these interviews, like the next one is just so much better because you've integrated so many up to this point. Yeah,
Yes.
it's definitely the next step.
Hmm. Yes, you should go for it because yes, it's truly inspiring. And like what you say, it's this integration of knowledge, like what we say here and some of the subjects, and even like a few questions I will ask on Thursday for the other artists as well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it totally flows on the same path, actually, the synchronicity as well. Yay. Thank you, Sani. Thank you, Sudi. Hey, thank you, Nina, for the birthday, the early birthday. Yay.
Mhm.
So, here on the room, we have Sudi Bell, we have Sani, and we have Nina together with us. Thank you for joining. I want to ask you, the guests here, if anyone wants to ask a question for Brittney, or if anyone has a comment, wants to get on the mic. If not, it's okay because I understand the pressure. But
I'll say something real quick. Uh, whoop. um, I just relate a lot with your journey, and you're you are an inspiration to me. It's expansive and it removes limiting beliefs that I have for myself to see somebody that I know and that I relate to um, living their dream. And I am so grateful to know you. And I loved my clothes that I got from you. They're so comfortable. They are spectacular. When I get to, producing, I want to know where you get, your stuff printed. It's amazing. And I'm wearing your Dibs pin on my lanyard at work, and I work at a dispensary. And so I've sold like over $3 million worth of product there. So I've learned a lot about the retail side of things. And it's very hard to work with the public in that way. But it has taught me a lot about the selling of things, which I'm grateful for. And I just related a lot to your path. And so it's so powerful to see you on here sharing your experience with the world. And now you know firsthand how it impacted me. And just think of all the people that will watch it, how they will feel that way too. I almost got, like, I did get teary-eyed at one point. and I felt your heart. And thank you. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Gosh, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, Sudie.
You rock.
Yeah.
And so do you, Marina. This is the best. It's so connecting to hear people's artistic journeys in this way, because we're already connected in other ways, but it takes us deeper, just like the Mish technique does, right? It takes us deeper. So very cool. I love the creative spirit and what it does here on the Vision Train with all of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to that. Thank you so much, Sudie. It's really an honor to share this space with you. And yeah, thank you for your share.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
Hi, Marina. Hi, Brittany. I'm not on camera this evening. I'm not camera ready. But I just wanted to say I'm sorry I missed the first half of your interview. I really look forward to going back and hearing your journey, because I've just been so inspired by it and watching your craft develop over the last few years. And I second what Sudie Bell said there. I also have some of your leggings and stuff, and they're just amazing. They've become myself and my daughter's favorite things to wear. And yeah, I was so excited to see you go to COSM this year. I was having super FOMO that I wasn't going back again. So to see you going, I was feeling that, and like really visualizing, or not visualizing, but feeling you feel it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm so grateful that you're in my life, and thank you for your inspiration all the time. And I'll see you again soon. Love you.
Sonny, I love you so much. Thank you for being there for me too. I'd let Sandy know that I had travel anxiety pretty bad. And I was like, well, if you made it from Ireland to COSM, then I can make it from New Mexico to COSM. So she was a lot of emotional support for me. Thank you, Sonny, for everything.
You're so welcome.
Yay, so amazing. Thank you, Sunny, for your share. And yeah, well, you both sharing this moment, right? This life moment of going to the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors to study with Amanda, and also having this hug of people from the Vision Train live, like what is this experience?
Yeah.
Oh, incredible. Thank you so much. And well, we have a question from Nina, and she asked you, Brittany, can you describe the process to develop your insignia, your logo art? Yeah.
Oh, like my signature. I guess this looks backwards to you guys, but um I think it showed up for the first time in like 2015, 2016. And it's a B and it's a P. My last name is Potter. So they both go in there. And then the arrow down, I was painting tons of arrows in my stuff back in that time. Not sure if it was like energy going outward, but this kind of reminded me a little bit of a devil tail too. So it was kind of like Brittney Monster. And then like with love is basically the heart at the top with the quotations around it. So it's like everything I do is with love. So that's why I put the heart up there. It came out pretty neat. And now I can put it on everything. And if you guys are wanting to explore a brand of your own, I'm going to put another plug in here for Vitra Academy's remastered class of Miles Seaton, Branding for Artists. If you if you want to know where to go from here and create your own artist brand, that class has everything you need to know in it. And it helped me a lot. I already had developed my signature before then, but he helped me realize what else I could do with it. So, yeah.
Yes, amazing. Thank you for sharing that. It's incredible, like how our insignia develops, right? Yes. And also how Britney Academy, that this school of art and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneur, is there a word? Anyway, but where you can find courses on technical skills of paintings, of drawings, of branding your art. This course with Miles is just amazing. And it's just like, I don't know, not that many hours, but you can get so many good information, like on even how to all your image packs that you have for your brand and everything. Like you can learn everything. He goes step by step on how to build your brand, and it's amazing. Also, you mentioned about Lisette Murphy course. You can say that again.
She doesn't have a remastered poetry course, but she does have Procreate.
The one that, yes.
Profound. And that one explores like the beginnings. If you want to learn Procreate on the iPad, all the information that you need to know. And then she goes into animation, like the basics of animation too, in the second half of the class. So just so much information in both of those classes. And I recommend them to everybody because it's kind of everything you need to know to get started.
Yes, all these courses from Vitra Academy. You guys, you can go to vitra.academy and you can find all these remastered courses, and they are so affordable and full of things that will be good for you and your creative path. Yes, I also cannot tell people more about it. It's just amazing. Yay. Well, we have some. Sorry?
Oh, so and at your own pace, like learning it online at your own pace. You can record it if you miss something, and it's a really good way to learn, I think.
Yes, all the assets are there, and you can reach it whenever you want. And whenever you feel like, okay, now I'm focusing on my logo and I don't know how to do graphics. So you go to Procreate and then you go to Miles and then you're set. And then you go to learn the mesh technique. Well, the mesh technique, there are a few courses there on Vitra.academy that you can go to. Paint Your Light Tree is just one that's full of good stuff. And well, you can find that more of on your interest there. And well, I think we have reached the final moments of our vision training focus. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for joining me. It means a lot.
Yeah, we had a good crew also online on Facebook and on YouTube. We had Josephine on YouTube, on Facebook, and Scott as well. And there is Shanna here as well on the Facebook. Thank you all for commenting and participating. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Nina. Thank you, Sudi. Brittney, wow, what a journey, my friend. What a journey. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for accepting this and being here now. Yes. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, I wish that you can develop your artistic path beautifully, and I can wait to see more of your artwork. Friends, follow Brittney on Instagram, and she also has the website. It's linked on the description of this post. the website and also her Instagram. So give her a follow. She's just doing the dips from Halloween, and they are just so cute. It's so cute. I can't wait to see this week paintings.
They're so much fun. Yeah, please follow those.
Yes, and as you guys heard about it, her merchandise is amazing, is good quality and super cute. I wish I could, but shipping here it's so hard. But anyway, and well, I think that's it. We will have another vision training focus on December with a guest artist. I'm still waiting for the guest artist to confirm, but soon we will have confirmed what the next artist will be here on the Vision Training Focus. This place where we get to spotlight an artist from the Vision Train, and as you can see, all of them are truly inspired, full of gold moments in their lives. And I'm really, really happy to be able to share this, to be able to facilitate this moment. And well, thank you, Brittany. And well, my friends, if you want to check more about the Vision Train, you can go to visiontrain.org and know more about the Vision Train. You can also follow the Vision Train page on Instagram, and there is a link for the train. And you can get here on this Zoom room that we are now. And you can create art together with us, and that is the schedule as well on the Vision Train website and on the Instagram from the Vision Train, that you can check what's going on the Vision Train. But anyway, this Zoom is open 24 hours a day, and you can go inside and you'll never know what you find out. Your life can change with a click, my friends. Truly, I can, I say this with all the truth because it really can. This place is magical. And well, if you want to find a community of visionary artists, of artists from all over the globe that gathers here for a purpose, a good purpose, such a goodness purpose, full of goodness. This place is full of goodness. It's so incredible to see people from America all the way to the other side of the globe, to Australia, crossing all the continents. It's amazing to see this room full, and well, I get the chills now just to think of this, and just to be able to facilitate this meeting, that we can have a chance to get together. Thank you.
Choo choo.
Choo choo, my friends. Well, bye bye recording, bye bye live stream. See you all on the Zoom. Until next time, my friends. Ciao, ciao.